Hello, everybody. Happy August 22nd. I can't believe how fast August has gone by. This is way too fast, but it's good to see you. Oh, got a little hair sticking up. Who is that Our Gang character, Alfalfa, with the hair sticking up? But anyway, it is so good to see you. Let's see. I see it. Lisa's here. Melissa's here. Hi, Marcia. Marcia, you were the first one here again. That's wonderful. So, and Sonia's here. Hi, sweetie. It was so good. Sonia has a beautiful, beautiful sewing machine. I was in love with it. In fact, I forgot to ask you, Sonia, what brand it was, because it was really nice looking. Nice, big machine. I love the new machines that have the big arm space so you can work in them really well. And it had like the canted front, which I just think they're so pretty. So anyway, but Laura, and I did remember Baby Lock. Oh, Crescendo, it's beautiful. And boy, Baby Lock has become a real force in the sewing world. I remember back when you had Singer, Pfaff, and Bernina, and that was about it. And now it's like, it's wonderful. But I've heard good things about Baby Lock. So, Laura, I did remember what the R stood for. It just took me a little bit. So, anyway, hello, everybody. I'm kind of in a relaxed mood today. Polly's here. But I'm kind of in a relaxed mood today. And I'll tell you why. Linda McCollum. Hi, beautiful lady. And Patricia. Oh, it's so good to see all of you. You've had it for 6 years and it works great. That's wonderful. That is really wonderful. With my thread painting, the next machine I get, which who knows when that'll be, probably never, but I'd like it that when I push the thread cutting button, that it lifts the presser foot. Because when you're doing a lot of thread painting, that would be wonderful. Oh, neat. Laura, you belong to how do you pronounce it? Sakwa? I have thought about joining that, but I'm just not sure if I have enough talent. Kathy Klein, it is so good to see you. I always see Kathy Klein's name when I'm watching Alex Anderson or something. It's so cool. So anyway, that is so cool. But today, I'll tell you this. I decided yesterday, I wanted to clean house. Well, I ended up chit-chatting with my daughter for over an hour, and so I got a late start. And then I said, well, it's the Studio Art Guild Associates. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But, okay, that's great, because I've thought about it. I thought it would be so cool. I've just seen some of their challenges and stuff and thought, ooh, can I really do all of that? But our Studio Art Quilters Association, something like that. Happy Sunday, Miss Jody. And so I said, okay, well, before I start vacuuming, Studio Art Quilt Associates. Thank you, Laura. So so I was going to clean the house, and then, it's warm today. It's so humid. I'm tired of it. And our air conditioning needs to be replaced. We're kind of limping it along, hoping to save this winter and be ready to, get it put in off season. So that's what we're thinking. Oh, okay. I will get back to the cleaning the house thing. It's been an eventful weekend, and you know what? I don't know why, but I always have an eventful life. And maybe it's not just me and I just don't hear enough of what other people are doing. But Mark went out to cut grass yesterday and he said, "Hun, down by the ditch at the end, water is just bubbling up. There is a break in the water main, evidently." And he said, it's really bubbling up. Oh my gosh, Michelle. That I had it first on top of my list to talk about Michelle and the hurricane, and then I got spastic and forgot. But Michelle, we're thinking of you, darling. Michelle is in Rhode Island, and guess where Hurricane Henri is right now headed? And so we are thinking about you, sweetheart. You hold tight. You might have to go, camp out in your downstairs for a bit. I don't know. But I'll be thinking of you. Hurricanes are no fun. And New England hasn't been hit with a hurricane in decades. So, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Goodness gracious, honey. I really hope you do. I know. Take good care, Miss Michelle. And I hope Sandy's going to be okay. I mean, the thing that bothers me most, I've ridden out several hurricanes in my life. The noise is awful. 80,000 with no electric, but y'all are good. Thank goodness. I'll be thinking about you. So, in fact, when y'all get through it, if you just send me a little text and say we're okay, I would be so grateful. My goodness. Yeah, Nova Scotia's, yep, up from Maine, and you're right. Ooh, well, y'all be careful, please, because I don't like hurricanes. The noise of a hurricane is what's so hard. The last one I went through, it was just nonstop noise for hours and hours. And it makes you punchy after a while, even if you can stay safe. We were on a farm. Our little farmette had 10 acres, and we lost 15 trees. It was a mess. And it was so funny because it was symbolic. My marriage was, I started to realize my marriage was going down the tubes. So it kind of like, it signified the end. But I don't ever want to go through a hurricane again if I can help it. I've got a butterfly weed bush out here, and the birds I'm easily distracted. You know that. But the birds keep hanging out on the butterfly bush, and so it jiggles, and I see them, and they're so cute. But anyway, that's why you live in Upper... Hi, Vicki Lemire. Linda Ramos. Hi, sweetie pie. Linda Ramos, are you a member of our group? Because if you'd like to join, I would like for you to. I want to make sure I haven't overlooked you. So, well, okay. So now he says, water's bubbling up. So he called the water department, their emergency line, and he said, there's water just bubbling, gushing. And they came out within a half an hour. They were so good. Oh, thank you, Miss Linda. So they came out, and he starts looking, and he said, this is your water meter, and it's way down. We own like from here to the corner. It's like 1.25 acres. So he said, this is your water meter. We said, really? He said, yeah, they don't have water on your road. So the road beside you, since your corner lot, gives you the water. And he said, oh, Mark said, do we have to pay for this? And he said, well, if the water meter is defective, then you don't have to pay for this water that's just gushing. He said, but if it's on the other side of the meter, you have to pay the water. You'd have to talk to the water. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So anyway, luckily it was the water meter was split. And so I forgot to bring down my phone that had the picture of it, but I'll show you next week. But the water meter was split, so they had to cut off water to the house, and the man was so efficient, and he put in a new water meter, and he hooked it all up, and he said, they're going to come by soon and replace these anyway, because they're going to put a new electronic water meter on, so the guy doesn't even have to get out of the car to look at your water meter. I said, now I know why I've never seen a water meter reader come out here, because it's way down at the end. But anyway, so then Mark said, hon, something's wrong with this water. He said the pressure blasts out and then gets smaller. He said, I've done some research and it looks like our pressure regulator has quit. So he went to Lowe's and bought a water pressure meter. And you won't believe this. Your water pressure is not supposed to be any higher than 50. Lots of bad stuff can happen from high water pressure. It can burst your hoses. It can burst your inner pipes, the seals on different things. I mean, it can really play havoc with the house. And he went and got a meter and came to me this morning and said the water pressure in the house was 110. And he said it would go down to 60 and then jump back up to 110. So then he went to Lowe's and bought us a brand new pressure regulator, about $70, but he thinks he can put it in. Because if you get a plumber out to do it, it's $250. So he's trying to do it himself. This has been the summer of anything that could go wrong, just about. Oh, I shouldn't say that out loud because there's probably something else that can go wrong. But anyway, so he just got home with the water pressure regulator. And I'm so thankful that he is on top of things, that he's smart, that he will do the research, and just he knew something wasn't right with that water pressure. And oh, I know what to tell you. Thank goodness for our chickens, because he came in and said, "Hon," soon as the guy left and he was flushing, we had to flush the lines for about 10 minutes because when they put on a new water meter, mud and stuff can get in the lines and you don't want it to go into your water heater and different things like that and cause problems. So he said, we have an automatic chicken waterer, which means it'll automatically refill. It has a little thing inside that senses if the water drops and it'll automatically fill. And he said it won't stop filling. He said, so something's wrong. So he came in and he started checking that. And he took apart the water filler and said, I don't see anything wrong with it, but it won't stop. So he had to cut the water off to that. That's when he realized, I think it's the pressure regulator. So, but I'm very thankful. In my former life, I didn't have the luxury of having a partner who was on the ball and would take care of these things and was smart enough and would do the research. It's such a joy. It's such a joy to have somebody who handles it. It's like we're a good team because I handle bills and different things that, you know, if we do some shopping and something isn't right, I handle that. And so we overlap good, but I'm very thankful. So anyway, so yesterday all that happened with the water and all that. And I'm like, oh, so I said, okay, before I vacuum the sunroom, I should clean out both bird cages. And so I cleaned them out and I wiped down the little trays, get them nice and clean. Then I said, well, the dog really needs groomed. Well, and you know, if you groom the dog, you're going to get dog hair on the floor. So then I spent the next 2 hours grooming my little Maisie, the poodle. And then my Blossom, I have to take her to get her groomed because when I try to use the shaver on her, she bites the shaver. She will not let me do it. So I take her to get her groomed. And so she's going in Friday. But I did around her little bum area and I did around her eyes because Shih Tzus get a lot of hair in their face. And so it took me a couple of hours. But I'm happy to say with my new cataract, with my cataract gone and my new lens in, I didn't cut her a bit. I didn't injure the dog at all. But I was so careful. So I still need to do grommet, but that's a job. My back, it's really sore. So that by the time I finished all of that, I said, I can't do the house cleaning. So I got up this morning, foolishly took a shower, washed my hair, and said, okay, I'm going to clean the house. So I went into the kitchen and replaced all the rags and put away dishes that had been already drained. And I washed down all the counters and I loaded the dishwasher and ran it. And then I said, okay, let's straighten the house, let's vacuum and dust. And Mark had gone off to the grocery store. Believe it or not, I got the whole house vacuumed and the whole house dusted. And y'all need to remind me of something that I'm 65 and I can't clean the whole house and groom dogs and do a show. I'm so tired right now. I could lay my head right down here and go to sleep. So, sometimes I kind of think I'm 40 again, and I'm not. So I was going to have all these things done for today's show, and I said, I'm not up to it. So what we're going to do is I have a few things to show you, and we're going to talk about things. But did I rush to get the pictures drawn of the new project we're starting Thursday? No. Did I get any more work done on my misty woodland? No. Did I get any more work done on the kaleidoscope borders? Nope. Did I get any more of my crumb blocks done? Nope. But my house is clean. So anyway, that's enough about this. It's my life, gals. And I got to tell you, it like Mark says, it's never boring with you. And he is very right. So, and the reason I shouldn't have taken a shower before cleaning the house, oh my gosh, it is August and the air conditioning is limping along and I was just pouring sweat. And I thought, well, that was nice. So anyway, yes. Our mind says we can, our body, yes, it does. It does balk because it's like, wait, Charlene, you can't be 78. Oh my goodness, that shocks me, Charlene, because I thought you were much younger than that. Good job for you. You get a lot done. You and Miss Linda have to get together because y'all are amazing ladies, amazing septuagenarians. I guess, did I say it correctly? I love that. Okay. So it is so good to see Charlene here. Cheryl Hogan. Don't you love it when you invite friends over? Because then you get all the stuff done that you really don't want to do. So I'm with you on that one. That was one of my famous old tricks that if I wanted to get the hallway wallpapered, I'd schedule family to come up and visit. So I knew I'd get it done then. So my daughters still say that too. It's like the best house cleaning. And then when the company leaves, you're like, oh, it's heaven. So the first thing I'm going to show you, well, I'll start out, I tell you guys everything, okay? I tell you guys everything. Oh, and I got my new Plackers disposable mouth guards because they're very small and I wanted to see if that would work because I've gone and bought the football players style and you put them in boiling water and then you put them in your mouth and you kind of bite down. Those are so big and they're so uncomfortable. Usually about 4 a.m, I'm taking it out and putting it on the nightstand. And boy, that's a good image, isn't it? So I got the new Plackers in and they're so tiny. I thought this is not going to work. It worked wonderfully. And the nicest thing is I didn't feel like I had this thing in my mouth. And so thank you to my son for recommending them. And they worked. So, okay. So I tell y'all everything. Okay. TMI, Deb, TMI, I know. Well, after we did the wonderful marbling last week, I put the fabrics out in the little containers on the front porch to batch. That's what they call batching is what they call putting your dyed fabrics in a airproof container and putting them in the sun or the warmth. Well, they weren't in the sun. They were on the front porch. But I hoped that it would work. And then instead of rinsing them out by hand, which you're supposed to, and then ironing them or putting them in a hot dryer. I was not in the mood. I had lots going on, and I dumped them in the washing machine. Take notes. This is not what you do with hand dyes. And I knew it, but I thought maybe I could get away with it because I batched them on the front porch. So here are my marbled fabrics. And as you can see, this looks more like a stinky baby diaper who wasn't feeling well. So this, I'm going to show you my wonderfully marbled fabrics. I mean, it is sad. And all I did, I just laughed because I knew better. But somehow I think it won't happen to me. I'm a nice person. Why would that happen to me? So, and they're not white enough to use for something else. No, they look nasty. Look at this, guys. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I mean, it's pathetic. So, I tell you what I'm going to do. It has a little bit on some of it, but not enough to be able to do anything with it. I mean, some of these are almost white again, but not enough to use them for anything else. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to soak them with alum or soda ash. I'm going to start again with that because that really makes the fabric. Because see, I took these had been out of the soda ash for a while, and then I washed them first. I'm going to go back with the soda ash or the alum to make sure that the fibers of the fabric are really receptive. Okay. And I saw another tutorial where they did use the Dynaflow dyes like I used, but we had to order some vitamins and online, and I found that they had some of the Jacquard, the same person that makes Dynaflow. They had a little introduction marbling paint set. So I ordered that. So I'm going to redo it. And along with the order for the vitamins, this has already come in with the vitamins. 2 brand new fresh cans of shaving cream. So I'm going to do it again. And if you want me to, I'll do it with you, or I can do it on my own time and then have it ready and show you. I'll do some more of the carrageenan, or what was the other one called? Sodium alginate. So I'll do some of that too. But I thought, got to do it over. And you know, I'm curious to see what the marbling paints are going to be like. I think I'm going to like them. So y'all can decide. I can do it on my own during this week and then have them all cleaned and show you the final result, or I can do them with you. It's whatever you want. I don't want to bore you, so that's the main thing. So you'd love to do it again? Okay. All right. Y'all are so sweet. So now I'm going to show you things that I've gotten in the past couple weeks. Even though summer's almost over, this was going to be my quilting summer. But I guess when you schedule cataract surgery right in the middle of it, it kind of messes things up. But I am going to continue crafting until I get everything done I had planned to do this summer. So, do you see this? This is, I want to work with resins. And the 2-part, they harden. So, I ended up buying this little pack. This is a kind of tape. And you can take shapes and put this tape on the bottom, pour the resins in, so you can use anything as a mold. So I got these little resin tapes in. Very excited. Then I was afraid I was going to try the Dynaflow, but I'm not sure if they would work for resins. So since I had to put an order in anyway, I found some resin colorants, and they were like $9.99. And they're just little sample bottles, but I said, doesn't take much. So I'm excited. And when I do my resin work, I'll record that. So, because I have to do it outside. I can't do it with you, but I will record it so you can kind of see, because I've never done resin work before, really. I've tried to do a bracelet one time and it didn't work. So, but then when I put an order in, who was it? Bear Creek Quilts. I get their email every day. They had my favorite all-time sewing machine needle for thread work, even for quilting, and they had these on sale, so I had to get a pack. Titanium coated, which means they last 10 times longer, and they are the top stitch needle. And let me tell you, when I do my long arm quilting or when I do my thread work, I always use top stitch needles. The reason for that is, let me see if I can draw it for you. Okay. You've got this sewing machine needle. I'm drawing a picture of it. Then you've got the hole, and there's a thing called the thread path. All right. Here is your sewing machine needle. Okay. There's the hole that the thread goes into. Top stitch needles have a long thread path. See this? And what that means is it's kind of carved out of the needle, and it allows the thread to be in a protected, sheltered groove when the needle hits the fabric. Fantastic. Inger is here. We have missed our Inger. Hello, Inger. So good to see you. So I prefer and this is my crude drawing of a sewing machine needle, but it has this groove carved out around the hole, and it protects the thread so that when you're doing things like long arm sewing, thread painting, where there's a lot of friction, that needle's going up and down very fast, that little extra protection of the thread keeps your thread from breaking so much or fraying and getting nasty. Then with the titanium coating and Superior, I mean, that name says it all. Their needles and their thread is Superior. So, and you see I got the 100/16 because that 16 size, yes, it'll make a bigger hole, but it holds up to fast stitching sewing and multiple layers of fabric and moving it quickly. Hello again, Carol. Whispering Cauldron was on Friday night. Wonderful lady named Carol. We're tickled to have her here. Now I've seen you twice, Carol. So if you send me an email, whoops, hold on. Come on, Deb. I'll get it to work. Everything's just a little wonky today. Okay, our time to quilt at twc.com. Whoops, no, that's supposed to be a C, Deb. It would help if I had my glasses on. Okay, COM. All right, so if you send me an email to ourtimetoquilt at twc.com, I'll send you an invitation. Let me drop this window shade down some, people. Whew, that was awfully bright. Okay. That was too bright for a Deb girl. All right. So anyway, but I have seen Miss Carol twice now, and we've chatted with her. We do that just to prevent anybody who maybe would be up to no good from joining our group, because we're a close-knit group. And we love being able to not worry when we chat with each other. So you're very welcome, Miss Carol. And so what was I thinking? If I ever send you a free pattern you asked for and you don't get it, please write me back. Sometimes I put just too many files on an email and it might get rejected and I don't know. So if I've promised you something, please let me know. Oh, speaking of promising you something, I last week mailed out all the rest of the prize packages except for 2 because I didn't have their addresses, and I'll try to get those out this week. But so that there's only 2 more, and then all the prizes have been mailed. So thank you to the people who had to wait a little longer. Thank you for understanding. And so there we go. All right. So now I've told you about top stitch needles and why they're my favorite. I've got a border plan for this quilt that I think is going to work really well. You notice I put my inner border on it, and I do like that because I like the sharpness, the delineation. So what I'm trying to do in my outer border is continue that flange of the kaleidoscope look. So I'm hoping it's going to work. But I'm kind of getting tired now. I mean, I've been so busy working on the Misty Woodland, and I've got a couple little leaf things I'm going to change, but I'm really happy with it. All in all, I'm very happy with it. So I'm going to finish doing the thread painting, and then I'm going to put it with some polyester high loft batting, because it's got a lot of fabric on it. And when I do the quilting, I'm going to outline quilt, leaf patterns, trees, planting areas. I want there to be some 3D effect in that. I showed y'all about a week ago. I was so excited because I found some very sheer fabric. I thought this is going to be the answer to my sun rays. It was too much. As soon as I put it on there, red opaque, couldn't use it. So I'm back to just the white, what's the name? Acrylic. The little acrylic paint bottles, thinned out with water, dabbed on, wiped off. So I'm back to that. Okay. So now, let me see. I'm really worried about Michelle. I want her to stay in touch because I'm very worried. Please keep her close to your heart. I don't like to think of, it's one thing if you live in Florida or on the eastern coast, the southeastern coast, you're used to hurricanes, but they're not used to them in New England. So be thinking about all of our wonderful friends up on the East Coast. So talking about things that I purchased, Jenny Buyer, a couple weeks ago, had a sale. I couldn't resist. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Now I'll try not to worry. Alexis is here. Yay, Alexis. So, and Michelle, I've got pictures of Donnie on his first birthday. So I'm so excited to show y'all. All right. So Jenny Buyer had some of her border prints on. $5.95. I mean, really? Well, I'm not supposed to be buying fabric right now, but what else could I do? And I mean, I am a Jenny Buyer super fan after all. Isn't this gorgeous? And I love these border prints because there are 5 or more different stripes. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different stripes, some wide, some narrow, across. And you can take those, you can make kaleidoscope patterns with them, how you do, and you get your little, 2-part mirror and you set it, and you can do different kinds of borders. You can use the narrow thing for sashing. There's so much you can do with these. And then, since this was so pretty and it's my signature blue, I got 2 yards of this. So I love, 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 love this. So those blues are to die for. So I got just 3 yards I think I deserve some applause for being so restrained. Because there was more I could have gotten. And she had another sale this week of fabrics for $6.95. But I said, I just can't. I've gotta draw the line. We just bought a brand new refrigerator freezer. With the air conditioning is starting to limp along. So yeah. And that's the thing is you building up thank you, Inger. Building up a fabric stash is serious work. So then remember how we had one problem after another, and I was paying double medical insurance and all that. And when we finally got the good news that they reimbursed me, because I didn't know, they reimbursed me for that. And remember, because the refrigerator had some dents on the front, 3 on the front and 1 on the side, we got a great deal. Got $500 and some off the refrigerator. That was good. And we were supposed to get a partial refund on damage that was done to our camper. That hadn't happened yet. But anyway, I got so excited because it looked like all 3 were going to happen at once. Well, I happened to see some fabric on sale at Bear Creek. I couldn't resist it. Look at this fabric. It is olive to dark olive with 3 or 4 different blues. Those are all blues with the red-orange center. When I find a unique color combination, it gets me excited. It gets me so excited. So I'll go ahead and put this on me so I can show you. Okay, let me move. Whoops. Let me move back and I'll show you what I ended up getting. But I ended up getting a yard of this because it's hard. How do you know? You don't know what pattern you're going to do. So how do you know? So I get about a yard of the focus fabric. The fabric that I think is going to be border sashing, I get 2 yards of. Then I needed a light color because too often we just buy the mediums, sometimes the dark, but we forget the lights. So I got 1.5 yards of the lights because if I do some kind of block pattern, there'll be a lot of background. So I got 1.5 yards of that. Let me move them back up here. Okay. Then I'm not sure this was actually in these were all 3 made to get to work together. But I saw this and it's little peacock feathers, but it had a lighter version of that olive. So I got that. Okay. And this was 1/2 yard. And, okay, let me pull it back up. Okay. Then I saw this, and it's called Sea Glass. But how cool. It had a light background, in fact, very light background, and it had the different greens, the olives, and the blues. And this wasn't a part of this design, but I said, oh, that'll give it a fresh look. So hold on, wait a minute, got to pull it all back up again. Now, if I were a professional show, I'd have some nice little board to show you. All right. Then I noticed that they had some wonderful solids. So I got this one. And because Jenny Beyer always says, pick something lighter and darker. And then I got this one. Look, come back up here. And I got this one. And I like this one because it's a grade blue. So I think it'll give your eyes a place to rest. So, and it was at Bear Creek. I got all of this fabric and the shipping was $64 and the tax too. And I will be able to make a very good size quilt with all of this. But I loved what I decided as I looked at this and I said, okay, what do I love about this fabric? I love the olive because that's unusual. Then I loved all the different blues. I love this flat navy. I loved the light and the medium. I mean, it's really nice. Now, the one thing I could add to this if I wanted was a little bit of the orange red. And maybe I'll do a flange of the orange red. But then I said, okay, I love that olive. I want a good, and this was made to go with it. I love this olive. Then, of course, I said the light. Then hold on just a second. Let me get a camera at a better angle. Okay. I thought this being a lighter olive was a nice touch. This I got just because it was so pretty and the colors were in there. And then I really loved the 3 shades of blue. So I'm going to be looking for something where I can use that gradient effect of the blues. Because blue is my oh, you have a sea glass quilt. I love that. So anyway, so this was, and I haven't made a fabric purchase like this for a while. And so I was very, very happy. And so anyway, that was my little surprise. And I said, because when you get some found money and everything's been kind of going goofy on you, sometimes it's nice to do a little celebration. So, and now I'm just going to put it in a plastic bag, put it up in my closet, and wait until I find the perfect pattern for it. But it'll be a while because I'm behind on quite a few things. So I thought you would like to see that and know why did I buy the fabrics I bought. But Jenny Buyer said, some people look at the selvage and they see those cool dots and they just buy the fabric to match the dots. If you do that, it's going to be a little flat, okay? If I only pick the exact colors that were in the quilt, if I chose the exact colors that were in my focus fabric, which is the olive with the blue flowers on it, if I just picked the exact shades, it would fall flat. So what you do is you pick at least one lighter than what can be found in there and one darker. And if you do that, that's when you get the pop. So that's what I got. All right. Now, let me look through. I'm going to do some patterns. I've already had one request. Our new Thursday project, now that we're finishing up on the Misty Woodlands, Misty Woodland, and I've got a couple to show you that people have done and sent in. So when we go to do show and tell, I'll show you that. But I'm going to show you when I've done the finish thing on it, but pretty much we're done with the Misty Woodland. The new thing we're going to do, we're going to have 2 more weeks of Thursday nights, and then I'm going to take a couple weeks break because I've gotten myself a little too, it's like when you run down a hill and you start to realize you're overrunning your poor feet. That's how I'm feeling. So I'm going to continue to do the Sundays as long as I'm here at home. But I might, after 2 more Thursdays, I'm going to take a couple weeks of break to kind of recharge my batteries. So, we're starting this Thursday, and it's only going to be for 2 weeks because it's a very simple project. We're going to be doing a project that only has 3 things in it. It has either the ground or water, the sky, and one lone focus feature. And whatever focus feature you use, I want you to have it near an edge so that the shape of the focus feature can be cut out on the quilt. So you're going to have, instead of just a rectangle, you're going to have what I'm terming a live edge. Like they do these live edge tables where they have the bark and it goes the shape of the tree. I'm calling it a live edge. And your focal point can be a tree, a stump, Stonehenge, a lighthouse, a craggy bluff, I'll show you my photos that I have for that. And oh, hi, Sherry's here. It could be a saguaro cactus, speaking from Arizona or the desert. And I just found it so fascinating that you would take one part of the quilt and just follow the focal points outline. And I'm going to make mine the size of a sheet of paper because I don't have time. That Misty Woodlands was a lot of work, and I'm so glad I did it because I really do love it. And I pushed myself. I said, Deb, don't rely on paints and thread painting. Let those fabrics do the work. So it was a lot more work. And boy, do I have an empathy now with Miss Jody, because there's hundreds of little cuts of fabric, different kinds of things that went into making that. And so I'm really proud. It taught me something, and it really pulled it. I had to work for it. So that's always a good feeling. But this one's going to be very easy. And I want you to have as few pieces as you can get away with. And if you can make it larger than this, that's fine. But Thursday night, I should have mine to show you, or at least be working on it. But one of the things that I want you to do is I want it to be dramatic. I want it to catch your eye. So think of a desert landscape with a barren tree, and the tree's leaning over like this, and you do the outline of that tree, and then you have like desert sand. And then what if your sky was something really unusual, and you can cut whatever part you want. I'm just bringing fabric that might give you an idea. It doesn't have to be realistic. It can just go with whatever strikes you. And, you could just cut the red and blue parts of this and have a dramatic sky. You could have water. But I like this because this could be a sunset sky. And this fabric is an ombre that goes to yellow and blue. And then there's this piece over here that has all the blue, pink, and yellow. So you could take and make a dramatic sky out of like three simple, striations of sky. Just however you want to get something dramatic, or your land could be dramatic. I don't want there to be lots of pieces. I would like for you to, I'm thinking I might do a stump with an elaborate root system that's exposed, and then cut the bottom curly around all those roots. And so then I would have to get the stump color fabric and draw on the fabric and cut it out. Try to cut it in one piece, because I don't want lots of pieces. I don't want it to be all tortured. I want it to be very simple and very stark. And so I that's enough about that. I will have some photos. So if you want, I will draw a couple different patterns for those of you who would like to not have to come up with make your own pattern, but would like to just work on it and get that dramatic look. So if you write to me at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com, I will send you those. I plan on drawing them out tonight. I need to just have time to sit and calm and be one with my pencil. So I will get those done. But I just wanted to show you those fabrics to say, what kind of exciting, I've been watching a show on Acorn TV, and it's from Australia, and it deals with the the native Australians, and the landscape is amazing. So it kind of makes me think of that starkness. It could be the Moors in England in Wales, wherever your imagination will take you. And when we do show and tell, I will show you the photos that I've gathered for that. All right. Now, and when we do show and tell, remind me that I have some pincushion ideas for our pincushion contest, which I'll talk about in a minute. So I wrote on the title of this, how am I doing with the progress on my crumb quilt? And actually, pretty good, all things considered, as busy as I've been. Yesterday, we had a wonderful time at our Jitsi chat. I always come in later. Sorry, it's just the way it is. But I ended up making 7 or 8 blocks. So I was real happy. And I've got a couple rows here and some blocks here. So I probably have, almost 30 blocks done. And I need 48. So I'll keep going. But I have to tell you, this is a very easy and satisfying project. And you know what? It makes me appreciate my scraps and my little crumbs. And a crumb is anything narrower than 2 inches, anything oddly shaped, little strips. And this is a wonderful project for it. I had some strip sets I had sewn together that, I just used the whole strip set. I was cranking out projects left, right, and center. But see, you can really use some tiny little fabrics. And this one was a leftover half square triangle. So look, it's got 2 pieces on that. And it's fun. I just gather. I don't even worry. I know everything will be spread around the quilt. And if you would like this pattern so that you can work towards using up your tiny crumbs and make something you'll enjoy, I will be happy to send you the pattern. And it is very easy and fun. I keep everything in this little bucket. I'm trying to be very organized and keep this room clean because I worked hard getting this room clean. And I'm more productive if I can come down, grab this, bring it over to the sewing machine and work for a few minutes. And it's not having days to quilt that makes you successful. It's using 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, and making a good use of the time you have. So, all right. So that's my crumb quilt progress. So now I think it's time to go look at show and tell. Okay? All right. Any questions before I go? Oh, y'all saw Mark? He's working on that main regulator. Good. The new plumbing that was done in the house before we bought it is all the plastic PET, I think they call it, PET, and 110 pounds per square inch would kind of play havoc with everything. So thank goodness he's taking care of it. So, and then hopefully the chicken waterer will work correctly once it doesn't have double the water pressure. So anyway, but Mark's having a busy day too. He went to the grocery store to get, we go to Walmart now. Again, Walmart for, there he is, for necessities and things. Like, that would be, we like Harris Teeter for meats and produce, and we get sale items there, like deli stuff. But it's too expensive now with the prices going up. We tried to shift back to doing most our staples from Walmart. So you got to do what you got to do, All righty, so let's gotta do some show and tell. Okay. All right. And I just want to make a shout out to my daughter who's a teacher. They are back in the classroom. It's a struggle to get kids to wear the masks. Where my grandchildren are going to school, and they don't have a mask mandate. And now 131 kids are quarantined because they've been exposed to COVID. So be thinking about these teachers and students that we're putting out there on the front line. So just a little worrisome. So anyway, but my daughter wants to teach in person. She doesn't like virtual teaching, but it's the pandemic is back out of control. So who knows what's going to happen? All right. Yes, you. Oh, we knew it was hello, Sherry. We knew it was. Well, our county has a mask mandate, but people are ignoring it. And sadly, the ones that ignore it the most are the ones that haven't had the vaccine. You've had the COVID. Oh my gosh. Oh, yes. In fact, there are children dying now. So we really need to take it seriously. I cannot tell you enough. Get your vaccination. So I'm starting to lose my patience because that's what unvaccinated people are driving this, and I want people to stay alive and safe and healthy. I don't know why they want to die. All right, here we go. This is the sweetest card that Miss B made for her husband for their 40th anniversary just recently. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And her nickname is B-E-E. So how more perfect is this? Isn't that cute? I love it. She's really this is something, the COVID crisis got Miss B into making her own cards because she couldn't go to a store to buy them. And how neat is that? So here's Miss Betty Middleton, who was at our Jitsi Sit and Stitch. And what fun yesterday. I loved it. We had about 6 people, maybe 7 at some times. It was wonderful. And here's a picture of Miss Betty's kitty and her puppy laying on a hunter star quilt that she made. Our animals love the things we make, I think because they smell like us. Isn't that wonderful? My grommet loves when I come downstairs to my studio. And I think it's because I'm happy down here. I'm so happy. And he likes me being happy like that. So here is an early stage of Miss Betty's Misty Woodland. And are you ready to see her final one? Really nice. And, it's actually not her final. She has now taken with thread painting, and she has made little stems and little with the thread painting, she's delineated the leaves and made little stems, and it is perfect. But didn't she do a wonderful job? I love this. Oh my gosh, I have that exact fabric. That is fun. I love her leaves everywhere. I mean, she just really made this pop. So way to go, Miss Betty. Way to go. And look at this one. Look at the 3 fish, a seahorse. Look at the little shells and the little jewels that were set in to be the bubbles. Miss Betty's very talented. Very talented. Way to go, Miss Betty. All right, now let's see. Miss Bonnie, I was peeking over at her blog and saw some things she's been busy working on. Besides doing the quilt testing that she does with Susan, these are some of the blocks she's worked on. This is her LaFleur. I want to get back to my LaFleur. That is going to be an exquisite quilt. And I love her. This is a kitty cat right there. I love this, her blocks. Then, let me see. I think there was, here's her kitty cat block, which is just charming. And look at this test quilt. It's already come out in the September issue, so she can share it now. And it's an Irish elephant. Is that the cutest? Oh, and that's one of her test quilts that she did. So I love it. All right. Then Miss Charlene has been, that she did the Ricky Tim's too. I was so tickled to have a buddy working on it with me. And here it is. I'm sure This is all of it laid out, and I think it's beautiful. That lime and blue is so striking. Way to go, Miss Charlene. All right, that's Charlene Lawson. And let me see. Then we have a Charlene Pfizer. And let me show you this looks like tic-tac-toe. It's so cute. And I love this landscape with the chickadee. And I love the Santa waving through the window. So way to go, Miss Charlene Pfizer. All right. Then, okay, let me see. Come to mind now. Let me find the ones. Up here is Miss Maisie with her haircut. And I know she looks the same, but I got so much hair off of her, and she feels a whole lot better. She's going back in for her checkup this week for her little anal gland problem. Okay, let me see. I didn't take the time to put these in a special folder, so I've got to kind of hunt them up. My folders are even getting a little too overrun right now. Okay, here we go. This is my son and his youngest baby, Donnie, who on his first birthday. Isn't that beautiful? I love those two gentlemen right there. And I love my son's haircut. I loved his long hair, but I tell you, I love his haircut. So there they are, giving little snuggles. And what a beautiful boy. And then look at him with one of his new presents. Isn't he beautiful? I can't wait to see him again. We always knew when they were dating, we said, y'all are going to make beautiful babies. And they did. Isn't that sweet? Okay, now let me go back to the main photos and see if there's anything else. I think that's probably it. I think that's it. Okay. Now, let's see where we'll go. Dolores, I have some really interesting things to show you. She does art fairs where she sells her artwork. And she had one, I think, in May or March. She sold out and had to come home and make a whole bunch of new stuff for the next one. But she sent me these pieces. She stays so busy. But isn't that beautiful? She's very, very talented. Look at that one. That is just lovely. A very talented lady. But thank you, Dolores. I really appreciate y'all sharing your photos. We love seeing these. And we can only enjoy all of this if you share what you're doing with us. This is Miss Jody. And I'm just showing off Miss Jody because she can do an amazing king-size traditional quilt. And she can also do her famous series of the early horror movie genre characters. Okay. Then she has a brand new friend, Miss Wanda. And she got this great deal from a neighbor who wanted to move up to long arm quilting. And this is amazing. She can sit and finish her own quilts. Nice size machine, easily to handle. Now, this was her most recent that I knew about. And this is Creature from the Deep Lagoon. And understand that she does thousands of pieces of fabric to show all the different shading and lighting. But guess what? This is her new one. And I said, oh my goodness, I think he's now moved up to my very favorite of hers was Frankie, because he showed such emotion. And this one, it kind of spooks me out a little bit because it's so good and realistic. But oh my gosh, it's so real looking that I think now this has moved up to be tied with my Frankie. Or almost. I think my Frankie, I have to be loyal to him. So, and just to show you a couple others, here is the Wolfman. And the way she does such a wonderful job of showing their emotion and their eyes, it's amazing. So, thank you, Miss Jody. You are something else, girlfriend. Miss Linda loves doing all kinds of especially handwork, where she does some of the big stitches and embroidery stitches. Oh, wonderful stuff. With some found objects, with some purchased objects. Just beautiful, beautiful things. So we love it. And here, her new felted mice. Look at that. Isn't that the cutest? Love, love, love these. Terrific. Okay, now let's see who else. Miss Lisa. Since Miss Lisa's here today, we'll show these one more time. And here are two of her art quilts. And I love the different use of fabrics and textures. Wonderful. And here, look at that. I mean, art can be whatever you can come up with. And it's so enriching to your home and to your soul. So way to go, Miss Lisa. Okay. Let me see. Oh, I had a photo from Mary today, and it didn't show up. I will try to keep... Oh, here it is. Here, Miss Mary sent. Look at this kitty block she's working on. And she cut all her leaves out independently and put on there. And watch this. Look at this close-up of this kitty. That is the sweetest, sweetest face. So way to go, Miss Mary. We are very, very impressed. I love that. Okay. Now, let's see. Miss Melanie has been working on this wonderful binding tool star quilt. And her cutie husband's holding it here and trying not to get into the photo, but we see him. We love husbands who help us display our work. Love, love, love them. All right, that was Miss Melanie's. Now, let's see. Miss Nadine. Oh, she shared two more beautiful works of art this week. Here is one of them. Let me enlarge it. And I think it was a co-worker, or maybe it was a family person who was having a baby. And that is just beautiful. The title of it is Once Upon a Dream. Beautiful. She's so talented. What an artist. And then she loves kitty cats. And look at, oh, let me make it bigger. I started to go closer, but I'd rather have it bigger. Isn't this wonderful? Mythical, magical, enchanted, sparkle. I love all of that. And these are her own artworks that she makes using stamps and coloring and embellishment, like this glitter here. Isn't that wonderful? But this is from her imagination, and I think it's pretty special. All right, is there any... Oh, Miss Patricia. Oh, I said I was only going to show it one more time, but I love her workspace because that shows someone who's very dedicated. And it's a wonderful, full, busy, active workspace. Way to go, Miss Patricia. Now just stay out of that hurricane. All right, I was going to talk to you about, let me see. Let me go back here real quick. Here, I'm going to show you just a few pictures. This is for the Thursday night Art Quilt live stream. Here is a photo that's really just grabs me and makes me want to create that into a quilt. Look at this one. Let me bring it a little bit bigger. But it's that starkness with an interesting color ground and then a gorgeous sky. Isn't that pretty? Okay, let me see. Look at this one. I love this. And it's just keeping it simple, keeping it to the basic elements, and letting your imagination go wild with the colors and the sky or the ground. Here is like a desert landscape, one element, and then a gorgeous sky. So keeping it very, very simple. Something like this, that just, it shows shape and color. Okay, shape and color. Something like this. So that's going to be our next project, and we're only taking 2 weeks on it because we're going to keep it simple. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, here's, oh, this one just grabs you, doesn't it? Look at that. And we're just going to keep it simple. Let the fabric do the work for us. Okay? But just remember to put it like a tree like this over near the side, and you cut the shape to follow it on one side. That would be really dramatic. Okay? So it's just keeping it simple, keeping it dramatic, and working on the working on the shape and the color. Create a feeling instead of a bunch of fancy stuff. And let me see. There was one I thought for sure I had a cactus here, but I know you can find pictures of cactus. Look at this tree. Isn't that pretty amazing? It's just one focus item on the work. Not a clump of trees, but one lonely tree. All right. Whoops. Hold on a second. Let me go back to the photos. Okay. So now we're down here to the pin cushions, because we're having a pin cushion contest. October 1st is the deadline to have a photo emailed to me at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com. And so what I'm doing here is just showing you some really cute pin cushions to get your ideas going. Okay? All right. These are just to give you some inspiration. Because pin cushions are a whole lot of fun. And they're always eminently usable. This has some piecework, some applique, and hand stitching. And I love that it's in a little stoneware cup. But I have just all kinds of things for you to just kind of look at and get inspiration from. Look at the hedgehog. I thought of Nadine when I saw that. Look at these. Look at the Victorian boot. Look at the pear. Look at the coffee cup. Look at all of that. Okay, let's see what else. These cute little, this one has actual scenes, and it has a snowflake on top and a winter scene that goes around the sides. The other one has the on-point squares. There's one, bear paw, but it almost looks like it would be good for our Canadian friends. Look at the cactus and the donut and the mini-me. I don't know exactly what that thing is called. I've forgotten now. But look at the small little wooden cups with the pincushion in them. I love these, where you take some of the old Bisqueware little character statues and you put a pincushion on them. What a great way to use former statuary. Here's some more ideas. And then I thought of Marsha when I saw this because they combine crochet with pin cushions. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Look at all of these. Some of them have bees on them and flowers and scenes. They're wonderful. Look at that. This one's like a little log with mushrooms on it. Very, very cute. And you can take advantage of the fabric. Center a print just right. They can be made of cotton. They can be made of wool. You name it. Look at these Starbucks pincushions. I think they probably use some kind of soft roping to look like the whipped cream. Look at the Christmas tree, and it looks like with this one, they made it look like a tape measure. I'm not sure, but that would be cute. Then, sewing machine and spool of thread pin cushions. Look at this one with the little, what are they called? The French knots. But look at that. So you can, there's no limit. Look at the teapot pin cushion. A pumpkin pin cushion. I love that. I'm getting excited about fall. These are amazing. I don't know if they're antique or what, but they have all kinds of beading and all kinds of embroidery and antique lace. So, there's just no end. I love that these look like children's toys on wheels, but they're old wooden spools. How cool is that? There's another snail pincushion. Take a little planter that you don't have another use for and turn it into a pincushion. This is to look like a potted plant. Here is a book by Carrie. Let me enlarge this so you can see. Carrie. Oops, now I can't quite make it out. But Pen Pals, so if you wanted to get a book on the subject, there is that one. Pen Pals. Cute title. All right. I think I'm almost done with what I was thinking about. Now, my daughter gave me one of these and she made, and I absolutely adore it. It's my favorite pincushion, but there is one problem. Put some kind of hard surface inside the bottom of this, because when I go to pick that up, it's kind of narrow and the pins go straight through and stab me. So you could use a Cool Whip lid you cut up and put inside, a thick piece of cardboard, something to keep the pins from grabbing your hand when you pick it up. All right, so those are my pincushion ideas, and I know that you can look around and get some great ideas that you can come up with all on your own. All right, this is Miss Polly's Misty Woodland Quilt in progress. There is her inspiration. I love the work she did. And are you ready? Let's see her finished quilt. And she doesn't waste any time. That thing is already bound and done. Look at her, quilted everything. But I love it. I love that it's a fall scene. Way to go, Miss Polly. She did a great job, didn't she? And she did it her way and by her vision, which is what tickles me to no end. The way to go, Miss Polly. All right, now let's see what else we're looking at. Sherry's here, so I'll do one more showing of a tote of hers. So cute, but we love Miss Sherry here. All right, let's see who else. Let's see. Susan. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. She's doing English paper piecing hexagons. And her stitches are so delicate and beautiful. Way to go, Miss Susan. And here, look at this. Isn't that wonderful? I can admire hers because I have promised myself never to do hexagons. And I shouldn't say that because a lot of people love doing them. They're so easy to transport. You can take them to doctor's appointments, anywhere you car rides. They're so easy to transport. But you know me, I get my feet dug in. Here's Miss Teresa Louise, I love to quilt, her dog quilt. I'm hoping we'll get an update soon and we can see the progress, but that's beautiful. Way to go. Okay. I think that's our show and tell. And I showed you the pincushion ideas and I showed you our Baron Stark 3-part little mini quilt series we're starting Thursday. And we'll be 2 weeks of it. And then I'm going to take a break for a couple of weeks, 2 or 3. I haven't decided. But just to recharge my batteries, 2 shows a week keeps me pretty busy. But I love it. And, you know, I want to thank you. If it wasn't for my Art Quilt Thursday, I mean, look how many things we've made during our time together. And I think I push myself and learn the most from our Thursday night projects. So thank you very much. Because of you, I am growing in my experience and in my creativity. You challenge me. Work by some of you, like Linda, like Jody. Oh my gosh, you keep me on my toes. And I love it. I would always much rather be with a group of talented ladies like you than be the star of the group because I can't learn anything just from myself. I learn and I'm inspired by you. So please keep sending me your work, even if it's something you did years ago. I want to see it. And it means a lot. Jean is here. Hello, Miss Jean. But isn't that amazing, the work you've done? And you are the stars of this show. And I like being the hostess. So that is wonderful. Take care, Michelle. You are amazing. And stay safe. You give me a little text when the worst is over and you're okay, sweetheart. All right. Isn't it wonderful to hear from each other? And we've got such a loving group, supportive group, the kind of people that I want to spend my time with. And you are my family, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, let me see if I've talked about everything. You know, I have to have a schedule. I read the most interesting article, and you know, I've always admitted I'm a squirrel kind of person. I easily get distracted, and I'm really working to try to stay focused. It's not always easy, but it makes for an exciting life, that's for sure. Oh, I've got to tell you this cute story. Okay, so let me go down this list real quick, and then I'll tell you. Yep, I think I have talked about everything. Yay. And for the pincushion contest, for some of you who've just tuned in, you're going to send me the photos of your pincushions. And then we're going to show them during our show and tell on the show on October 3rd. And you get to vote for the winner. And the winner gets a $10 gift certificate to the online shop of their choice. So it's very exciting. And you've got until October 1st. So you have time. You're not rushed. And I want you to do something that represents you or really creative, something that makes it different from any other pincushion you could find. So, and if you don't have to participate, only if you wish to, but we hope you will because it's kind of fun to do that stuff. All right. So what was it? What was I just getting ready to tell you? Can somebody remind me what I was just getting ready to say? It was one of my interesting stories. I have lots of interesting stories. Um, what was I getting ready to tell you? Anybody remember? I know. It's what was the story going to be about? Oh, I got invited back. This will be my fourth or fifth year. Oh, you received your package. Excellent, Alberta. I wanted to make sure you got them. So I'm hoping just about everybody now has gotten their prizes. That's wonderful. I did get invited back to judge the Galax, Virginia Art Council Quilt Show. And it's going to be Saturday, September 11th in Galax at this wonderful farm, a turn of the 20th century farm. And it's an outdoor thing, so it's safe to go to. Bring your mask, but it's safe to go to because it's all outdoors. Mark is my assistant. You did get your Cheryl. Wonderful. Mark is my wonderful assistant, and I have judged it 4 or 5 years now, and they've invited me back. I'm very honored. And so Saturday, September 11th, I'll be doing that. So I'll make sure to film it, and because it's always a beautiful show and wonderful quilts in this front pasture hanging out there. So I'll film it and show it to you on Sunday, the day after. So, but I was very happy to get invited back, and that's Galax, Virginia, and it's the Art Council show. And I'm trying to, if you just go to the Galax Art Council, you'll see the location. But I was hoping maybe Cheryl Lemon could come to it. That would be a lot of fun. So anyway, I will be there Saturday the 11th. I'm very honored to be asked back. And I do enjoy, I take my judging very seriously. And it's wonderful. And Mark, it's amazing how much he's learned, but he's a wonderful assistant and gives me lots of feedback too, just kind of letting me know if I'm on the right track. Because some of them, people go, oh, that quilt should win. That was a red and white quilt that really was extraordinary. But the red fabric shadowed through the white background. And unfortunately, I couldn't give it a win. So there are hard decisions you have to make. But all I can do is judge based on what I see. So that's all I can do. So, oh, thank you, Melissa. I take it very seriously. I'm not a certified judge, but I've been doing this since 1990. So hopefully I've learned a little bit in this time. So anyway, all right. Usually I judge and then get the heck out of there because not everybody's happy with my judging. You know, that's the way it is anywhere. So anyway, all right. There was another story I wanted to tell you. Oh, if I remember it, I'll write it down this time. Like I told you, I clean the house. You can't be witty and clean the house in one whole day. So anyway, yes, the minute details. You're exactly right. Little things. I'll give you some examples. Do your patterns match up? Is the quilting compatible or compatible? Is the quilting compatible with your piecing design? Does it enhance it or distract? Is the quilts pretty square? Are your bindings evenly full and straight and square? How are your corners finished? It's not that we try to be picky and find fault with you. It's that we have to add or subtract points to see who literally at this show who did their best work. If it were up to me, everybody'd get a prize, we'd go home happy. But you have to have the winners. And you know what? I don't mind that anymore because it gives everyone something to strive for. So I take it very seriously. Wonderful. Oh, so you know how I feel. I mean, Mark came up to me when we were leaving last year and said, there was a lady who was as mad as a wet hen, which the hen comment reminded me of my funny story I was going to tell you. Yay, I get to tell you my funny story. You know, I love my hens. And the quality of the eggs are really going down because they're geriatric hens now. And I've promised them that if they laid eggs for me for a couple of years, that I would keep them until they go to the great hen yard in the sky naturally, that they would never be just thrown out, that they have earned their keep. And I'm at an age where I'm not going to get new ones right now. I think Mark and I are kind of tired of taking care of them as much as I love them. And plus I'm kind of tired of them eating my vegetables and my flowers. So, but I do love them. So I went out this morning because I had some ham pasta salad that I was cleaning out of the refrigerator and I wanted to give it to them. So I took it out to put it in their container, and I always count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were only 5. I thought, oh no, has one of them died? Oh, I didn't want to find a dead chicken. I love my girls. I love each one has their own personality. So I opened up the big door to the coop, the inner house, and Mark had cleaned out their poopy straw and put in brand new straw yesterday. And the chickens love to go in and scratch the straw up, hoping to find little wheat seeds that they can eat. They had piled it up so high that this one, my biggest hen, felt trapped in the nesting box. There was a little hole near the top of the nesting box where all the straw was shoved up against, and her head kind of came out like, I can't get out. I laughed so hard. So I got the pitchfork and I raked the straw back down, and she zoomed out real fast. She wanted to make sure she got some pasta salad, let me tell you. But oh my God, they just make me laugh. They're just so cute. Mark and I love wildlife, and we are avid bird feeders. The other day, there were 5 species on my platform feeder. And my platform feeder is only about 13 by 18 or 13 by 20 or something. There was a dove, a rock dove. There was a chickadee, there was a titmouse, there was a rufous-sided towhee, and what was the other? Oh, a house finch. I said, how lucky. And you know what? It's a good analogy for the world. If they all can get on that feeder and share, we can do that. We can do it. So, but it makes me very happy. Mark grumbles a little bit when he says, do you know the price of a 40-pound bag of black oil sunflower seed? Yeah. But you know what? He's the one now who on his own has taken to feed him every day. So that's pretty nice. And Polly, another thing I was going to tell Miss Polly, the raccoon problem, we've taken to irritating them, and it worked. They went away. Because I couldn't have them in my yard threatening my dogs and my chickens, but I didn't want to hurt them, so we just have made their life miserable. When Grommet lets us know they're out there, we ping them with gravel, rocks, or whatever, and shout at them and make them leave. Finally. But we've seen foxes. I had snowy white egrets to a pair at the pond this week. We have a little pond lake right across the street, and it brings so much wildlife. It's a joy. So we've been enjoying all of that. Well, I think I've talked about everything. So next week, be prepared. We're going to do more marbling. And I cannot wait. So be thinking if there's any certain colors or patterns you want me to try. I'll be glad to have some fabric just to do what you would like me to do. Okay? Well, it has been a wonderful day to share with you. I have to be honest. I'm going to go upstairs and wash this makeup off and take the bra off, and get a comfy shirt on, and sit in my recliner and make paper beads. Yay! Oh my gosh, I've gotten so much wonderful junk mail lately. I've got a whole baggie full of where I glue up the strips, and then yesterday I got out my guillotine cutter, paper cutter, and I cut and cut and cut about 2 pounds of paper strips. And this is just the perfect day to make some paper beads. So everybody, I hope you have something like that you can do that'll make you just as happy. And my tooth is feeling much better. Using a mouth guard and telling myself to stop clenching really works. Oh, and I just remembered my hammock is upstairs. That hammock might be calling my name. Take good care. Please take care of yourself. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a great week. And send me pictures of your bird feeders, things you love, your work, that latest creation or something you made 10 years ago that you still love. So I love receiving your photos. I'll type in my mailing address one more time, my email address. So our time to quilt at twc. Oops. This is why I need my glasses. But boy, after not having to wear them for 6 months, frustrates me to have to wear it again. But our time to quilt, TWC. Good. Thank you, Miss Linda, for being our moderator again. So good to see all of you. If I've mentioned your name twice, send me an email and I'll invite you to our group's IO. We had a great time at our Jitsi yesterday at our Sit and Stitch. We do the second and third Saturdays of every month. We'd love to have you join us. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Take good care. I hope the water's on. I might not be able to wash my face unless he's been able to fix the pressure regulator. Take care. Mwah. Stay safe. Get vaccinated. Wear a mask. Bye-bye, everybody.